Civil War, who do you think they call upon to turn the ash back to brick? No, sir, you don't need change to keep a man in his place. A few coins will do you just fine. Now, when they promised us land for our work, we heard freedom. So we picked up spikes and shovels, followed that railroad wherever we were told to place it. Our job was to see the mountains of West Virginia as clay. Some of us died squinting so hard, especially out there in the Big Bend Tunnel. We drove more than a mile deep into them hills. The only light we had was the one hitting our backs. That is, had not been for John Henry. With a hammer in his hand, John had arms like dynamite-tipped bullwhips. Fireflies bursting across his kneecaps. His wife, Polly Ann, used to come down to the tracks just to watch the rain dripping off of his chest. The preacher of sweat, sermon of crash. Whenever he saw one of us falling, his voice would ring out like church bells. Stand up, son. These rocks ain't shackles. Just a whole lot of dust that don't know where to part ways when it sees our footsteps. The only time I heard John stop singing was when the steam drill come. This man, Mr. George, he called himself, sitting high and mighty on this soft seat. When he stepped down, he walked right up to Captain Tommy and said, I got me a machine here twice as efficient as them lazy niggers you got driving steel. Give me some money to send all the work donkeys home. I wanted to scrape my calluses against his silky skin, peel off the husk so he could feel what it's like to bleed. But John stepped between us and said, I got a better idea. In the tunnel, black dust clouds forming overhead. Every smack, pebbles and rock shards ripping by my ears into the air pocket of John's elbows. Every lift, his muscles swelled up, blood glowing through his skin the color of molten iron. I couldn't even see that steam engine. Just heard his clock tick shatter breathing down my neck. But John's voice rang out, come on, shake up, spin that steel. Steady hands up, brother, we got a steam drill to put to shame. He swung so hard and so fast that the sparks stuck to his hammer, arced like lightning bolts when he pulled back. And I used to think that only God could make thunder. All said and done, John drilled 2 7-foot tunnels, one with each arm, and that steam drill man only had one. 9 feet to our 14, but when John's veins had cooled off, his body hardened up. Heart couldn't find enough room to keep beating against the anvil of his chest with only the strength to whisper. He motioned over to Polly Ann and said the hammer crash was my first taste of God, proof that our hands gave us a choice. I'm sorry for what I had to do. Polly Ann kissed his cheek, watched his eyes drag backwards. Mr. George just steps over his body, pulls out his purse and says, machine still for sale, Tommy. Unless you got another monster like John Henry just lying around. Well, Polly Ann leapt up screaming, listen here, Mr. Business Suit, Mr. Fabric Arms, shining fingernails. Last I checked, I got hands. Just like John Henry had hands, just like every man and woman here got hands. It ain't no steam engine could brew a storm like the fury pouring out of these pipes. John Henry, throw steel spikes straight to that track. Good as any man. Blue dress whipping in the hurricane wind of her hips, lightning pouring out of her pupils. Mr. George just stared right back, silent, like he could smell the rain coming.